It is well. Let's see the part we have done. So, let's see too. Don't bend your head, please. Hello, Papa. You okay? Tired? Sit down. Tired? You can watch, Daddy. It's for you. You say, please help me if you want somebody to help you, if you need help. Okay?
Oh, can you put that cream on the other one? Daddy, Mom. Daddy. No, not it. Can you put the cream on the other section, please? Daddy. No. You can watch. You must keep the love there.
Hi. Welcome to my life. We are making hair for birthday girl. Thank you for joining me. Please, I want you guys to join me and wish my princess happy birthday. How are you all doing? guys hear me? Hi, thank you for joining me. How do you ask? Hey, please.
Please. Please.
What is this?
It's not working. I'm not working.
Please be patient. Are you joining me? Thank you, and God bless you for joining my life. My life with you.
Lizzie, she won't kiss
Sorry,
the
princess.
teacher.
Tell you something. You can wash or this thing for me to wash.
It's our battery.
Is that a battery?
Mm-hmm. Mommy, would you mind?
Hairstyle gel is not good for your hair. Then I would have used it to pick this scarf. Well, it's not good for your scarf. That's a myth. There's another thing.
Hello, welcome to Storytime Read Along.
Try and go. Try and go.
Poppy,
Try and
The
go.
Fifth
Try
Day
and go.
by Jamie
Try and go.
Jones.
Try and
The Fifth Day, featuring Princess Poppy, Grandpa, Dad, Saffron Thimble, Granny Bumble, Mum and Penny. Poppy woke up early. Yippee! It's my birthday! She shouted as she jumped out of bed. I love birthdays, said Poppy. Today I can be a special guest all day long. Poppy looked around the room. And dressing up clothes was scattered all over the place. But she couldn't see any sign of a present.
Mom, there's Tuesday puppy.
I do.
Mom, there's Tuesday puppy.
Hmm?
Mom, there's two. Mom, look. Oh, that's cute.
Poppy dressed her
That's
hair
cute.
on
Red
her
double.
favorite red dress and
Thank
put
you.
her poppy hair clips on. I'm off to find my
What?
birthday things, she announced, and rushed off to her parents' room.
Look like a hat. Mom, look like a hat. Look like a hat, baby. Mom, that look like a hat.
Oh,
Look
Poppy,
like a
I'm
hat.
still sleepy, said her muffled voice from under the bed cover. Poppy began. Go back to bed for
They
half an
told me
hour,
that.
Mum.
Like Timmy,
Only 7
Tommy,
Poppy.
Tommy, in my
Mum and Dad sleep.
Tommy, Tommy, Tommy. It's a guitar, Mom. It's a guitar.
Hmm.
It's a what a guitar. It's what? We open it together. Let's open
Hi
it.
everyone. Thank you for joining my live video or my live stream.
You open it.
Making hair for my daughter's birthday.
I'm so working.
She's not working. You just have to have patience. Be patient whenever you are washing your tablet, okay?
Never forget my birthday.
Mom, can you open the grass?
Poppy walked through the big door into Grandpa's office and found him hiding behind a
Yeah.
Can't walk, dear, said Grandpa. I'm stuck on my crossword. Poppy marched out and closed the door with a bang.
Look at Boris.
And his newspaper was upside down, she said.
Mom, I want to back it.
Poppy picked
Yay.
the off the sewing shop.
Yay.
Was busy stitching a beautiful red
You got bucket chip. Daddy, daddy, daddy. Bucket. Bucket set. Daddy, daddy, bucket.
Did you know it's... Poppy, I'm sorry, but I've really got to get on with this job, said Saffron. This is for a girl who can't wait for anything. I don't have time to chat. Even Saffron is too busy, so Poppy went to the lavender garden to find her best friend, Penny.
Mom,
Penny was dressed up in a
Oh.
fairy outfit.
this is okay.
Please tell me you have remembered my birthday, pleaded Poppy. Oh, Poppy,
You go.
but I haven't exactly remembered,
You go.
said Penny, sounding a bit
You
confused.
go.
Poor Poppy felt
You go. You go. I don't know my kitchen.
about her to remember this special day. special princess on my birthday. Suddenly, Honey jumped up. Come with me, Poppy. Let's go and play in the pool.
I did it, Mom.
Got closer to the water.
Stop shaking your head. Mom.
So weak.
Stop shaking your head.
Ego, what does it go?
And flower petals showered down on Poppy's head. Bang! Went the
What cat?
Happy birthday! Shouted Poppy's family and friends. Wow! In the hot Poppy.
Thank you guys for joining me, and God bless you all.
You waited very patiently. Presents. Red velvet
Big.
box.
Mom, I thought it said big.
Poppy put it on.
Mine, it said big.
I'm sorry for the noise on the background. My baby is making noise here.
Here we go, and say we go. Hunting dinner like a water pie.
Delicious.
Cook. Freeze.
Grandpa handed
Tap
Poppy a
bubble.
gorgeous tiara with 3 poppies on it. Poppy put it on. I love it. Thanks, Grandpa. A saffron pink poppy a white box covered in poppies with a red bow on top. Poppy opens the box and pulls out a red princess ball dress and red velvet shoes. Oh, Saffron, it was for me. Thank you, explained Poppy. I thought you said it was for a girl who can't wait for anything. Everyone started to laugh. But Poppy, said Honey, it's only just after breakfast time now, and you have been finding it hard to wait for your presents, haven't you? Maybe a little bit, giggled Poppy. I should have known something lovely was going to happen. Honey then handed her friend a small glass bottle with a red ribbon tied around it. It's petal perfume, Honey explained. I made it myself. Oh, Honey, it smells lovely, Poppy said as she dabbed the perfume behind her ears. Then Poppy dashed off to try on her princess dress and red velvet shoes. Poppy, you are the most beautiful princess ever, said Grandpa as she showed her wonderful present. Grandpa, Poppy asked, isn't every little girl a princess? Yes.
So funny, Mom. Again, Mom. Again. That's funny.
Okay,
What a
have fun.
perfect Princess Poppy party. Thank you, everyone.
Sorry, Papa. Mommy is waiting for you.
Princess Poppy ballet shoes. The glass doors of the sitting room at Honeysuckle were open to the garden.
You so happy?
Yeah.
Danced and floated around
I'm so
the room.
You're so happy.
My new
Why are you
ballet
happy?
shoes are perfect fit, Mom.
Hmm?
She called. Poppy pointed her toes, held onto the sofa as a bar, and practiced her foot positions. She did a pirouette
Mom,
and then
I'm so
curved
happy.
her orchids
so happy.
of nodding flowers in the garden beyond. Madam Angel
Super.
is choosing parts for the big
Super
show
good.
today, Poppy told her mom.
Super.
I just know I'm going to be Capelia, a living, dancing,
Ego.
she said.
Okay.
Don't be too
Yes.
sure,
Yeah.
warned Mom.
Yeah.
That Poppy would be a totally
Yeah.
innocent
Like
person who
Yeah.
dances the best.
Yeah. My God. Yeah. My
Called Poppy.
She look like those. Oh, she look totally. She look like those. She wait. It's a bit.
Called Puppy. Madam may join me to some extra villagers for the street.
Go. Let me go. Chicken.
Honey said, and dashed
No.
in the direction of her house to find
No.
where to her
No.
But stop screaming.
the Lavender Lake School of Dance and found Madam enjoying in a very excited state. Do suppose the pianist
Don't drop the tablet. If you drop it, I'll take it from you.
not to
Please. So working.
What is not working?
It's so working.
Mummy, are we on to the last section?
But she did love the way the dancers moved so gracefully across the floor. Poppy, said the teacher,
They won't like to sit and make the hair.
above her head.
And once the hair finish, they won't like to leave the mirror.
Poppy wasn't at all nervous.
They won't like to leave the mirror.
Mummy, have you finished the section?
Just as he had practiced in her
Mom,
own
it's
room.
late.
Bravo, bravo, cried
Late.
Madam, clapping. And who is this new girl? She asked, looking at Honey. I'm Honey, stammered Honey, looking a bit red and scared. Well, Honey, let me see you dance. Demanded
It's mother.
Honey began
It's
to
mother.
floor.
That's late.
It's like a feather
Okay.
glittering around on light, silky wings.
Mom, what is this?
As they were
Mom, what is this?
Who's washing that?
Madam glided across the dance floor to Honey and stood by the bar. Honey, you move like a natural dancer. You, child, will dance capella, she announced. Puppy's mouth dropped open in amazement. But Honey was
Well, I'm not going there. Go there.
capella.
Papa, sit down. Wash.
Stop cheating.
Let me show you his name.
So,
Mom put her arm around Puppy. Go and say, well done to Honey, shall we? She suggested. Puppy couldn't, but it seemed to hear anger and disappointment and something else. It was a feeling that she couldn't understand. She was annoyed with herself for bringing Honey along to her ballet class. For the next few days, Puppy refused to play with Honey. She imagined that her dolls always had to come to life, just like the dolls who starred in Capella. You would never be a part of the show, would you, Ruby? She said to her big rag doll. Puppy felt even worse as she looked over her garden gate and saw Honey playing with a friend. In Rosa, whose parents owned the Hedgegrove Hotel in Honeycomb. It was bad enough to lose the part of Capella, but to lose her best friend was unbearable. When Grandpa came around, Puppy flung her arms around him and cried. She cried about the ballet show, but mostly she cried because she missed Honey. Puppy, said Grandpa, you will always be my little star. But you can't always be the star of the show. You are my princess, Puppy, and you can be a princess. And dinner with your friends.
learning in my pocket, learning, I like counting, learning in my pocket, learning.
Cried with her again, but the next Honey has a bad tummy ache, so she couldn't dance the part of Coppelia. Instead, the Coppelia for tomorrow's big show will be Mademoiselle Poppy. Poppy was thrilled. She couldn't believe it. But then she thought about Honey and how disappointed she would be not to dance in the show. Mom, could I take some flowers to Honey? Poppy asked after class. What a lovely idea, said Poppy's mom. Poppy quilled Honey in delight as her friend came into her room. Poppy smiled and handed the flowers to Honey. Honey, I think you would have been a lovely Coppelia, said Poppy. Oh, I wish you were well enough to dance the part. Honey gave Poppy a big hug, and all of a sudden, Honey felt so much better. Honey felt well enough to dance Coppelia at the big show, and she danced it beautifully. Everyone said that she was the most graceful ballerina they had ever seen. Poppy danced the part of Swimmerhild, wearing satin shoes and a beautiful pink tutu made especially for her by Saffron. Everyone clapped as Poppy twirled lightly around the stage. At the end of the show, Honey was given a posy of sweet-smelling flowers. She broke open the posy and gave half of it to Poppy. They curtsied together and hugged, glad to be friends again. After the show, Grandpa came backstage. Poppy, you were wonderful, he told her. Oh, thank you, Grandpa. I'm so glad they made a good job of my part. Though it was smaller than Honey's, I was still important in the story, wasn't I? Asked Poppy. Darling, there wouldn't have been a story without you, replied Grandpa. My little ballerina, Princess Poppy. Princess Poppy, ballet shoes. The glass doors of the sitting room at Honeysuckle Cottage were open to the garden. Poppy danced and floated around the sunlit room. My new ballet shoes are perfect fit, Mom, she called. Poppy pointed her toes, held onto the sofa as a bar, and practiced her foot positions. She did a pirouette and then curtsied to an audience of nodding flowers in the garden beyond. Madam Angelwing is choosing parts for the big show today, Poppy told her mom. I just know I'm going to be Coppelia, a living, dancing doll, she said. Don't be too sure, warned Mom, worried that Poppy would be disappointed if she wasn't picked. The person who dances the best on the day will be chosen. It has to be me, laughed Poppy. I am the best dancer by far, and Cousin Saffron is going to make me my own beautiful Coppelia dress. As they were leaving for the audition, Poppy saw that her best friend Honey was at the garden gate. Honey, why don't you come to ballet with me? Called Poppy. Madam Angelwing needs some extra villagers for the street scene in Coppelia. Honey had never been to ballet before. Well, you do love to dance, don't you, Honey? Said Granny Bumble. I do, Honey said, and dashed off in the direction of her house to find something pretty to wear to her first ballet class. They arrived at the Lavender Lake School of Dance and found Madam Angelwing in a very excited state. Doucement, she called to the pianist, who was playing too quickly. Arabesque, not jeté, she cried to an older girl in a pink leotard. Honey thought this was all very strange and
loved the way the dancers moved so gracefully across the floor. Puppy, said the teacher, clapping her hands quickly above her head. Dance for me, now! Puppy wasn't at all nervous. She began to twirl and jump, just as she had practiced in her own sitting room. Bravo, bravo, cried Madden, clapping. And who's this new girl? She asked, looking at Honey. I'm Honey, stammered Honey, looking a bit red and scared. Well, Honey, let me see you dance, demanded Madam Angel Wing. Honey began to glide across the dance floor. She moved like a fairy, glittering around on light.
That's beautiful. Yes, everyone.
It hurts. I'm telling you, it actually
Come on.
hurts.
So, I don't want to add those styling hair stuff on your hair because your scalp doesn't like it.
Puppy's mouth dropped open in amazement, but Honey was only meant to be a villager. I should be Coppelia. I am a Coppelia, thought Puppy furiously. Mommy put an arm around Puppy. Go and say, well done to Honey, shall we? She suggested. Puppy couldn't. She burst into tears of anger and disappointment. And something else. It was a feeling that she couldn't understand. She was annoyed with herself for bringing Honey along to her ballet class. For the next few days, Puppy refused to play with Honey. Instead, she imagined that her dolls and toys had come to life, just like the doll of the story of Capelia. You would never steal my part in the show, would you, Ruby? She said to her big rag doll. Not to lose the part of Capelia, but to lose her best friend was unbearable. When Grandpa came around, Puppy flung her arms around him.
Thank you for joining my live
About the
video.
ballet show, but mostly she cried because she missed Honey. Puppy, said Grandpa, you will always be my little star. But you can't always be the star of the show. You are my princess, Puppy, and to be a true princess, you need to be kind and generous to your friends. I do miss Honey, snapped Puppy. And Honey misses you too, said Grandpa. Why don't you go and make friends with her again? But the next day at ballet class, Puppy was surprised to find that Honey wasn't there. Girls, said Madam, Honey has a bad tummy ache, so she cannot dance the part of Coppelia. Instead, the Coppelia for tomorrow's big show will be Mademoiselle Puppy. Puppy was thrilled. She couldn't believe it. But then she thought about Honey and how disappointed she would be not to dance in the Poppy a big hug, and all of a sudden, Honey felt so much better. Honey felt well enough to dance Capelia at the big show, and he danced it beautifully. Everyone said that she was the most graceful ballerina they had ever seen. Poppy danced part of Sweater Held, wearing satin shoes and a beautiful pink tutu made especially for her by Saffron. Everyone clapped as Poppy twirled lightly around the stage. At the end of the show, Honey was given a posy of sweet smelling flowers. She broke open the posy and gave half to Poppy. They cried together and hugged, glad to be friends again. After the show, Grandpa came backstage. Poppy, you were wonderful, he told her. Oh, thank you, Grandpa. I'm so glad they made a good job of my part. Though it was smaller than Honey's, I was so important in the story, wasn't I? Asked Poppy. Darling, there wouldn't have been a story without you, replied Grandpa. My little ballerina princess Poppy.
Hello and welcome back. Today's story is called Princess Poppy.
He took it one step at a time and tried with all his might. And wouldn't you know it, he rose to a great new height. He still couldn't see what was coming through the trees, but he did
Hello,
knocking
welcome
on
to
the
Story Time with me,
Something was
Princess Poppy. The Big Day by Jamie Louise Jones.
Maybe it was friendly and just wanted to play. Roar!
The Big Day featuring Princess Poppy, Grandpa, Dad, Saffron Thimble, Granny Bumble, Mum and Honey. Poppy woke up early. Yippee! It's my birthday, she shouted as she jumped out of bed. I love birthdays, said Poppy. Today I can be a special princess all day long. Poppy looked around her room. Toys, books, and dressing up clothes were scattered all over the place. But she couldn't see any sign of a present. Nothing for a birthday princess in here. I do hope everyone has remembered my birthday, she sighed.
He needed to see it, but wasn't sure if he dared. Then Bradley heard a sound. It sounded like
Poppy
a squirrel.
brushed her hair,
He looked up,
put on her favorite red dress, and put her poppy hair clips on. I'm off to find my birthday things, she announced, and rushed off to her parents' room.
Bradley was so distracted, he didn't even know that as he was dodging, high did he go. And then from behind his long
Dad, I'm here, said Poppy. Oh, Poppy, I'm still sleepy, said the muffled voice from under the bed covers. But it's my birthday, Poppy began. Go back to bed for half an hour, mumbled Mum. It's only 7 o'clock in the morning, Poppy, groaned Dad. How could Mum and Dad sleep late on my special day? Wondered Poppy crossly. She went back to lie on her bed. This is so boring, wrote the birthday girl. So she decided to go next door and see Granny Bumble. She was always up early.
Bradley had no choice but to face his fear.
When Poppy arrived, there were lots of freshly chopped strawberries on the table, and Granny Bumble was eating sugar and butter in a big bowl. Hello, Granny Bumble, it's my birthday. Poppy, can't you see I'm in the middle of something? Come along now, I'll see you later, she smiled. Granny Bumble doesn't care that it's my birthday. Right, that's it, Poppy decided. I'm going to see Grandpa. Never forget my birthday.
Sorry.
and a huge newspaper. "Can't hold it," said one of them. "I'm stuck on my crossword." Puppy marched out and closed the door with a bang. "Not 1, 2." "And his newspaper was upside down," she said. Poppy peeked into the window of the sewing shop. Princess Saffron was busy stitching a beautiful red ball dress. "Hi, Saffron, that looks gorgeous. Did you know it's..." "Poppy, I'm sorry, but I've really got to get on with this job," said Saffron. "This is for a girl who can't wait for anything. I don't have time to chat." Even Saffron is too busy, so Poppy went to the lavender garden to find her best friend, Penny.
Princess Poppy ballet shoes. The glass doors of the sitting room at Honeysuckle Cottage were open to the garden. Poppy danced and floated around the sunlit room. "My new ballet shoes are a perfect fit, Mom," she called.
Hi everyone.
Poppy pointed her toes,
Thank you
held onto the sofa
for joining me.
and practiced her foot positions. She did a pirouette and then curtsied to her audience of Nordic flowers in the garden beyond. "Madam Angeline is choosing parts for the big show today," Poppy told her mom. "I just know I'm going to be Capella, a living, dancing doll," she said. "Don't be too sure," warned Mom, worried that Poppy would be disappointed if she wasn't picked. "The person who dances the best on the day will be chosen. It has to be me," laughed Poppy. "I am the best dancer by far."
You okay?
Saffron is going to learn
What is
a
it?
beautiful Capellian dress.
What I said? Hold it,
For
Lassie.
the audition, Poppy saw that her best
You're
friend
hungry.
Honey was at the garden gate. "Honey, why don't you come to ballet with me?" called Poppy. "Madam Angeline needs some extra villagers for the street scene in Capella." Honey had never been to ballet before. "Well, you do love to dance, don't you, Honey?" said Granny Bumble. "I do," Honey said, and dashed off in the direction of her house to find something pretty to wear to her first ballet class. They arrived at the Lavender Lake School of Dance and found
Close the fridge, please.
Angeline in a very
Close the fridge,
excited
please.
state. "Doucement," she
Like a
called to
little
the
apple.
pianist, who was playing
There's no
quickly.
accident.
Is there?
"Arabesque,
Whoa.
not jeté," she cried to an older girl in a
Can
pink
I have some?
Honey thought this was all very strange and a bit scary too. But she did love the way the dancers moved so gracefully
Let's see. This ball is lava.
quickly.
This ball is lava. It was only, it only. This ball is lava.
Someone cannot make video quietly for where you guys are.
Sitting room. "Bravo, bravo," cried Maggie, clapping. "And who's this new girl?" she asked, looking at Honey. I'm Honey," stammered Honey, looking a bit red and scared. "Well, Honey, let me see you dance," demanded Madam Angeline. Honey began to glide across the dance floor. She moved like a fairy, glittering around on light.
Should we use to eat fruit so you can have it?
Everyone fell silent as they watched.
Are you sure?
She jumped and
No,
What
thank
happened?
you.
What happened? Why do you want to do that?
I don't want
Why
it.
why do you want to give it to her? Why do you want to give it to her? Because you don't want it, Abby?
I don't want it, thank you.
Sometimes you get to think that you are smart.
Mommy is smart. Mommy is smart.
Dropped open in amazement, but honey was only meant to be a villager. I should be Capelia. I am
I want something.
Mommy is on. You can wait for 10 minutes to come, okay?
I'll show you what I want.
well done to Honey, shall we? She suggested. Poppy couldn't. She burst into tears of anger and disappointment. And something else. It was a feeling that she couldn't understand. She was annoyed with herself for bringing Honey along to her ballet class. For the next few days, Poppy refused to play with Honey. Instead, she imagined that her dolls and toys had come to life, just like the doll in the story of Capelia. You would never steal my part of the show, would you, Ruby? She said to her big rag doll. Poppy felt even worse when she looked over her garden gate and saw Honey playing with a new friend, Mimosa, whose parents owned the Hedgerows Hotel in Honeypot Hill. It was bad enough to lose the part of Capelia, but to lose her best
Thank you, guys.
was unbearable. When Grandpa came
Thank you.
Poppy flung her arms around him and cried. She cried about the ballet show, but mostly she cried because she was missing Honey. Poppy, said Grandpa, you'll always be my little star. But you can't always be the star of the show. You are my princess, Poppy, and to be a true princess, you need to be kind and generous to your friends. I do miss Honey, sniffed Poppy. And Honey misses you too, said Grandpa. Why don't you go and make friends with her again? But the next day at ballet class, Poppy was surprised to find that Honey wasn't there. Girls, said Madam, Honey has a bad tummy ache, so she cannot dance the part of Capelia. Instead, the Capelia for tomorrow's big show will be Mademoiselle Poppy. Poppy was thrilled. She couldn't believe it. But then she thought about Honey and how disappointed she would be not to dance in the show. Mom, could I take some flowers to Honey? Poppy asked after class. What a lovely idea, said Poppy's mom. Poppy, squealed Honey with delight as her friend came into her room. Poppy smiled and handed the flowers to Honey. Honey, I think you would have been a lovely Capelia, said Poppy. Oh, I wish you were well enough to dance the part. Honey gave Poppy a big hug, and all of a sudden, Honey felt so much better. Honey felt well enough to dance Capelia at the big show, and she danced it beautifully. Everyone said that she was the most graceful ballerina they had ever seen. Poppy danced the part of Swanhild, wearing satin shoes and a beautiful pink tutu made especially for her by Saffron. Everyone clapped as Poppy twirled lightly around the stage. At the end of the show, Honey was given a posy of sweet-smelling flowers. She broke open the posy and gave hold to Poppy. They cried together and hugged, glad to be friends again. After the show, Grandpa came backstage. Poppy, you were wonderful, he told her. Oh, thank you, Grandpa. I'm so glad they did a good job of my part. Though it was smaller than Honey's, I was still important
remembered my birthday, pleaded Poppy. Oh, Poppy, I haven't forgotten, but I haven't exactly remembered, if you see what I mean, said Henny, sounding a bit confused. Poor Poppy felt very sad.
Thank you all for joining me, and God bless. Thank you so much.